Hello again and welcome back to Elisabeth Hogarth Designs. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new release from Craft Consortium by Clare Therese Gray, and this particular collection is called Secret Garden. There's lots to go through. I've received a very generous design team package which I'm really looking forward to sharing with you before I crack on and make some samples. So in this collection we've got the washi tapes, we've got a 6x6 pad, we've got a 12x12 pad, we've got stamps, we've got enamel dots, we've got the fabulous wooden shapes, and we've got something that I haven't seen with the Craft Consortium collection before, if at all. So let's begin. I remember The Secret Garden, and I believe it was written by Frances Hodgson Burnett, and it was a childhood book that was quite old-fashioned when I read it, but it did take you into a magical world, and I think this is what this collection does. It's very ethereal, the colours are sublime, and what I'll do first is I'll take you through the 12x12 papers so that you can see these designs up close and personal. So it's full of topiary, butterflies, mushrooms, beautifully drawn rabbits and robins, and you've got some rainbows hidden in there as well, which I think is rather appropriate for the year that we've had. And then we head into the papers. It looks like it is all the things that you would find in an old-fashioned garden, a house at the National Trust or something like that. So you've got your fountains, you've got your topiary walks, you've got a very sweet swing hanging from an imaginary tree, the magical gates, lots of hares and butterflies. Very, very sweet. The imagery is quite small. I think it'll be quite tricky to cut it out as a fussy cut, but it will be beautiful in strips because the designs are so pretty. We then move on into an almost Art Deco style paper. Let's just take you down to this one first so that you're not distracted. There we go. And again, it's like the layout of a garden. So you've got flower bed designs with these hand-drawn patterns. In the centre of them you've got the topiary and the waterfalls, the water fountains again. But it's almost like the plan for a garden, like you're looking down on the greenhouses or you're looking down on a cut hedge. Let's move over to this side. And this time you've got some, they're almost like enamel patterns, and these are full of natural flowers, little squirrel, robin. The colour is like an eggshell blue, and the imagery itself is almost like it's been watercolour. This is a lovely page. This page, the keys are all embossed so that you can see that sheen on there. It's lovely to touch as well. This is more like a wallpaper, really beautiful. It's like a modern day William Morris design with the gates, and then this, it's almost Romany, folksy kind of floral effect. These colours here are beautifully matched. Everything's quite busy at the moment, so I can imagine that I'm going to have to soften the colours with some pale blue. There's a teal in here, maybe some crisp white cardstock. Let's continue. We now got some fresh, I might show you these all in one go because they're quite similar. These are almost like a walking through a meadow, and then when you come to the end, there is the door, the gateway to the secret garden. It's got a really lovely flow to it. The colours allow you to almost feel like you're walking through a meadow on a summer's day. Everything is moving. It's very cleverly done. We then have our beautiful shimmery cardstock. So these are your pearlescent pages, which again are very good for construction. Even though they're 150 GSM, you could still manipulate them. These I can imagine cutting out, but I like this twist of having the modern day kind of rainbow emblem and these style of butterfly. This pearlescent paper is like a teal. It's like a soft duck egg blue bordering on teal, and it really pops with the pink and the peach of these butterflies. We then go to the other extreme where you've got a really dark background. I wouldn't say that this is black. It's almost like a very rich green, a dark green. And again, it works because these colours then pop against it. So you can imagine cutting this into bands or using a square die to take out these panels and then sitting those on a card or making it into a scrapbook page. And again, you've got the same sort of technique, and slap bang in the middle you've got a rainbow, and again this one is embossed. Let's see if that works if I bring it up. Very, very pretty meadow flower papers. You've got bluebells in here and forget-me-nots, foxgloves. It's like an English country garden, which again fits in with the theme. And then we're back to the colours in this are really subtle and really lovely. This is that blue again, but again there's no pearlescent on this one, but it's a really fresh blue. I hope you're enjoying these colours as much as I am. You'll have to let me know in the comments below what your first impressions are. And then we move on to another blue, another shade of blue. I'm a huge fan of blue, it's my favourite colour. So these papers and these colours are really going to work for me. But I can imagine if you're not so keen on it, you'll highlight these little pinks and these very subtle yellows and creams and peaches. This one here reminds me of the wallpaper I had in my bedroom at home. But it's got birds on it. Can't quite tell. They might be blackbirds and thrushes. That's definitely the robin. They are British garden birds, but they're beautifully drawn. I wonder if Clare Therese etched these because it's a really beautiful design. And then we've got, now this is either a grey or a green, and again it's pearlescent, and then you have the same again in a shimmering light blue. The shades of blue and grey in this collection are stunning. And then we have our, let me move you back up, we have one final page of elements. So you can stamp onto these, you can cut these out, and then you can use this one as a type of border. Okay. Next up, let's take a look at the stamp set. So there's two in this collection on the same theme. I like the background piece that they're carried in, and I will use that to help me with my colouring. But here is the first stamp set. I hope you could see that okay. So we've got this scene again of the topiary bushes leading up to the fountain, and then you've got your own set of topiary bushes here that you can line up on the card. You can almost just do a band of them and then colour them in, or stamp them with green inks and then not colour them in, or emboss them in gold or something. That would be smart. And then these ones are more the elements of the garden. So you've got the gate to the secret garden, you've got the robin in the Gothic window, so there's the robin in slightly larger form. You've got that key that we saw embossed on the 12 by 12 papers, and you've got little hare and rabbit, just to finish off that piece. Oh, and the water fountain, that's in this section here. We've also got a great set of 10 wooden shapes. So these are wooden, they're plastic coated, but they are wooden. They're very lightweight and they're great for adding interest to your card. So we've got some topiary trees again. There's the fountain. There's the statue hidden behind the ivy. The robin, so I will use this to help me colour the stamps. A lovely English oak tree. The hare, the butterfly and the key. So all these images are reflected throughout the collection. You really can't beat the enamel dots from Craft Consortium. They're really quite shiny this time. So we've got our red, our peach, our creams, a bronze, a yellow, a pale blue, that teal and a green. So they'll finish off the cards beautifully. Moving on, we've got 3 rolls of washi tape, plenty to use on your projects. So again, we go back to, we've got the butterfly and the rainbow, and then if you turn this one around, these are those panels, like the enamel panels, and then you've got all of those details again. And then finally we finish off with a really useful golden narrow band, so you could just use those as your borders for your cards. Right, one final element I'd like to share with you today are, these are new to me, I haven't seen these before from Craft Consortium, but I think they're going to come in really handy for toppers for the collection, and these are the puffy stickers. So again, you can see the same imagery, but these are self-adhesive, they're pliable, and they literally are puffy stickers. The first 2 cards use the same page from the 12 by 12 and the 6 by 6 pad. So this is the card that I created using the 6 by 6 papers, so you can see it's almost like the maze garden, and that's what influenced my card design. And this is my second card, which is the same paper in the 12 by 12. So let's focus on this card to begin with. I remembered that I had these Dynamics craft dies from Craft Consortium, and again I used the same frame and the inside pattern to help me construct the card. So you can see it comes in these layers, and I've used every section, and this particular one is called the A5 iron frame. It's a really useful die. So this is the first card, so you can see I've used this outside corner here, and I've used this inside inner frame, and I have paper pieced it. So I used the background paper, and then I took the dies, and I imagined that I was creating an English garden to tie in with the theme of the paper, and then right at the centre of my garden is the ornamental fountain. It took quite a long time to make this card because I had to keep die cutting all the layers out, but I think it was worth it in the end. And then on the second card, here's the second card, and you can see that this frame here comes from this outside frame here, and I picked this bright green again because I was imagining that I was working with those formal hedges like the topiary that you've got. I really like the puffy stickers. I really think that they are a good addition to the Craft Consortium range. So this is the other die set I used, and this is Enjoy Life, and you've got the outside layers and the funky lettering itself. But quite often when I'm doing these types of letters, I do 2 or 3 layers just to add extra definition. So there's the puffy sticker again, and the hearts come from these little embellishments here. So again, you've got 2 cards with the same paper design in different sizes using one die set. So I thought that was quite a good way of incorporating everything. I hope you like the designs too. This card is slightly smaller, so I'll bring you in so that you can see that it is a very simple slimline, and these are the background papers, really pretty colours, and I've added one of the wooden embellishments this time, a simple sentiment and a few Craft Consortium Tell the Bees sequins. Here again I've die cut using an octagonal die frame that I've had for quite a while. This is a 6x6 paper with a mixture of the puffy stickers and the wooden embellishment, and then this centre one is a 12x12 papers. So having both sets of paper pads has really helped me to extend the use of this kit. And as the sentiment says, the best things in life are free. My next card is a Z-fold card, and the inside part, so when you receive it, it will come like so, and then the inside part is a flap so that you can write, and then to put it on your mantelpiece, you slot the bottom of the card inside the MDF or the sticky pads. I did have to add some extra sticky pads here in only halfway to allow me to be able to sit the top of the card, but when you come to sit it, that's the finished result that you're going to get. My last sample is a little bit of a project, and it was inspired by Clare Therese's Instagram account, and in it she was explaining that this particular collection is close to her heart and it's dedicated to her goddaughter Eliza. So I imagined that Eliza is a sweet little girl, and I thought she would like to do some colouring. So instead of colouring the stamps myself, I simply stamped them onto the cards, laid them up onto some pretty paper, and I've included a little set of pencils, and you've got yourself a really nice sweet little gift. There are the other 2 cards. Quite often when I'm making samples, I imagine how we would all use them, and this is the type of gift that I would have made for one of the girls in my class that liked crafting, or for one of my younger cousins, something like that. And it inspires me on how I'm going to use the collection itself. So you can see all the papers that I've used. Let me just quickly show you that again. So those are the Secret Garden papers from the larger 12x12 pad, and then I use the washi tape on these little pockets here. Again, this is based on some other wallets that I've made. I am rather partial to making gift boxes and gift wallets with cards, because I do think they make really nice personal gifts. And then to finish it off, I've added one of the little embellishments onto a peg. The Secret Garden is a really pretty set of papers, and I enjoyed crafting with the 12 by 12 and the 6 by 6. This collection is launching on Create and Craft on the 30th of April, which is the bank holiday weekend in the UK. Happy crafting, and don't forget to come back and see me again soon. Bye for now.